To truly master your 1/4" seam, I would recommend going to your local Pfaff store and picking up a 1/4" foot. Now this is one that is a 1/4" foot with the guide. That's always one that makes me look really, really good. It is set up for an IDT, so your dual feed kind of pulls right on down and it's included there. But let me show you a couple other tricks for mastering your 1/4" stitch. One thing that really makes a difference is the thread that you pick. Working with a nice thin thread will assist when you need to press your seam open and not have a real thick thread taking up some of that bulk. The other thing is when you have a thinner thread, you can use a smaller needle. This one would be a Microtech size 70 needle, and that thread goes through it beautifully. A quilting needle size 75 would be another good choice, and both these needles have a very sharp point. So as you start to go through intersections, it will make a nice crisp stitch and help you keep nice accurate 1/4" seam allowances. The other thing that I might recommend, just so you don't accidentally pick a zigzag or a decorative stitch while this foot is on and break a needle, is set your machine for what is called a stitch width safety. Go into the settings, and the third one down says stitch width safety. Touch OK. The little white box will turn dark, and then that way you won't accidentally, like your needle position, you can't move it. You can't pick a decorative stitch like stitch number 5 is a zigzag. You'll notice that it just sets it for just a straight stitch center needle position. And this setting will stay on when the machine is turned off. And when you actually go to turn it back on, this will kind of pop up a little message, you'll see it in a second, that setting is still active, and to remind you, oh yeah, that's right, I left that on there last week, for example, you don't forget. Why can't I pick a zigzag? You can always go back in at any time and take off the stitch width safety. Another thing that I do like when using a 1/4" foot is a straight stitch throat plate. That is something that you can purchase from your local Pfaff store, and it will just help keep everything more accurate because the needle can only go through one tiny straight hole down the center with a center needle position. Worked beautifully with the 1/4" foot, a nice small sharp needle, and a thin thread such as the Arafil size 50 weight thread.